Crocs were a meme when I was a kid, and memes hadn't even been invented yet. Yes, I am old. These weird little foam shoes seemingly appeared out of nowhere when I was like 8 years old, and they quickly became a must-have. I literally begged my parents to buy me a pair of these things, and almost as quickly as they arrived, they disappeared from popularity, and those plastic clogs are still floating around my parents' house to this day. But during the pandemic, Crocs started popping up again, and the pattern seems very familiar. So put your clogs in sport mode, because we're getting right into Crocs. We're making a video about Crocs.
This video is sponsored by Shopify.
So to understand how an objectively and widely considered to be ugly shoe managed to become a cult craze, not once but twice, we have to go back a little bit to three dudes in a boat.
I'm on a boat! I'm on a boat!
In 2002, Scott Siemens, Lyndon Hansen, and George Bodebecker Jr. were just three boys from Colorado on a fishing trip. They were in the Caribbean Sea when they discovered a boating clog from the Canadian brand Foam Creations. These Americans visiting the Caribbean wearing a Canadian product had unknowingly stumbled upon a truly novel idea that would go on to change their lives and the fashion world forever. These clogs used a new foam technology called Croslite, and the guys loved how comfortable and waterproof they were. So like any red-blooded American dudes in a tropical country presented with a potential business opportunity would, they acquired the rights to Croslite technology and released their own version of it, the foam clog, which were Crocs. They called them Crocs because of how they could function great both on sea and inland. In the sea, on the land. They called these new shoes Crocs because of how they could function both on land and in the sea, just like crocodiles. Pretty good name. When Crocs first touched the marketplace in 2002, nobody cared. Honestly, a lot of people just thought they were really ugly, and high fashion was pretty cruel to them.
They're so ugly. How are they even in business?
But you know what they say about bad press. The fact that people hated Crocs so much contributed massively to their insane rise to mainstream popularity. In the early 2000s, they quickly went from stupid looking boating shoes to one of the most popular shoes in the friggin' world. Crocs responded to their meteoric rise by rapidly expanding into new markets, opening retail stores and releasing a ton of new product lines. Along with the classic clog, you got the Croc Mary Janes, the high heels, the lace-ups, the flip-flops, and even Croc boots with the fur. Crocs were snapping up market share without any natural predators in sight until 2008. The 2008 financial crisis put a lot of businesses out of commission permanently, and it hit Crocs so hard that they basically went onto the endangered species list. In April of that year, their stock dropped by 30% in a few hours, and they laid off over 600 factory workers. And the hype train that had been running on nitrous up until this point came to a screeching halt. As the economy and the company continued to nosedive, it kind of just seemed like they disappeared forever. The ever-churning trend machine charged ahead, and by the 2010s, Crocs were pretty much gone. Just another one of those overnight trends that left the group chat without saying goodbye.
As trends come and go, and as the world changes, we need businesses to react. And that's why we're stoked that Shopify has sponsored this video. Shopify is an easy, all-in-one commerce platform where anyone can start, grow, and manage their new business. It's more important than ever for us to encourage new businesses who can innovate, and Shopify makes it super easy to set up that small business and storefront through their platform. Shopify lets you sell in person or online and on all other major social platforms, and they support businesses along the entire journey, giving them the resources they need to grow. Here at Futureproof, we see Shopify as a facilitator for new business ideas, not just an online marketplace. They encourage and empower smaller companies who can innovate and lead their own change through entrepreneurship entrepreneurialism. So if you click the link down in the description, you will get a step-by-step guide on how to launch your own store through Shopify. It's really simple, and you can get access to a 14-day free trial so you can get started with a store today. Thank you so much to Shopify for sponsoring this video and making our content freely available to you. Now back to the video.
Now, like a lot of trends from the early 2000s, you may have hoped that Crocs were dead for good. But just like low-rise jeans and bucket hats, whether you like it or not, they're back. In their time away, Crocs really learned from their mistakes and came back even stronger than before. They got rid of all their random product lines and really honed in on what they were good at, the clog. They also acquired a company called Jibbitz, which is a company that makes those little charm things that people use to decorate their Crocs with, which is just so much like those charm bracelets that the girls used to wear when I was in high school. And it just, God, really, we just keep repeating the same things over and over again, don't we? With their new structure in place, COVID hit at the perfect time. Since everybody was staying at home and cared way less about how they looked, the Crocs made a comeback. The global pandemic was almost as good to Crocs as it was to Lysol, and in 2020, the company quadrupled their sales. However, people in sweatpants during the pandemic don't make a product viral. It's those darn kids and their rap music. In 2021, Gen Z made Crocs cool again. They were a huge part of the Visco girl trend, which brought back scrunchies, oversized t-shirts, and choker necklaces. Yes, we are living in my childhood now again, and I don't like it. One difference with their latest round of hype is that nobody was questioning their ugliness. In fact, that's sort of why people love them. Wearing Crocs is like a unfashioned fashion statement, if you know what I mean. You're saying that like you won't be ruled by what society views as beautiful, and you know, you do what you want because you're a person with your own thoughts and feelings. Of course, you could just say that being an individualist in this trend is just participating in the trend, but you know what, let's not get into it. But Crocs aren't just for TikTokers and your 14-year-old cousin who really needs to start thinking about showering more regularly. Celebrities like Justin Bieber and Post Malone have started rocking these foam shoes, which opened up a whole new opportunity for our friends at Crocs, which is, of course, limited edition Croc Drops. Croc Drops is my own thing, I just coined that. This new hype beast energy took Crocs in a very different direction from their original success. Now people associate Crocs with a Supreme or North Face kind of hype streetwear credibility. Post Malone and Justin Bieber have both done collaborations on several exclusive Croc partnerships, and each time, as you would guess, the Crocs sell out instantly. This whole get 'em before they're gone marketing is really great for building intensity or urgency within consumers, and it also turns these celebrity shoe products into collectible items. Now there are like Croc collectors, people who have like 8 or like 30 pairs of Croc clogs just to collect them, I guess. 30 pairs seems like a lot of Crocs to me. Now, given the success of late 90s and 2000s trends in 2022, it shouldn't be a surprise that Crocs just blew up. But it does make you wonder about the company in the future. Are they just a boom and bust shoe company, or is there actually some reason why they retained their popularity? Now, I am hesitant to say this, but Crocs are actually kind of awesome. Crocs, as a shoe, are loved and worn every day by normal people because of their comfort and function. Shift workers, nurses, doctors, they all love them because they're comfortable enough to wear for 12 hours at a time. Hikers love them because they're easy to clip onto their backpacks while they're on the trail. And restaurant workers love them because they're easy to wash. These are a lightweight, waterproof, closed-toed yet breathable shoe that costs less than $100. That is a pretty rare combination for a product today. The only other shoes that look like that are these things, and nobody wants to be seen wearing those. Fun fact, my dad wears like exclusively those, and honestly, they are really comfortable and functional, but my God. But probably the most impressive feat that Crocs have over almost all other modern shoes is that they're virtually indestructible. My parents still have those old Crocs that I left for them back in like 2008. If you're not running in marathons or getting a little too close to your campfire, a pair of Crocs can become a freaking heirloom. The reason for this durability is their incredible simplicity. Not only does this make them extremely cheap to produce, but they're less likely to have weak points. I'm sure you've owned a pair of shoes that got wrecked and thrown in the trash because of a single problem, like a blown out heel, or like laces that ripped, or soles that wore through. Modern shoes are the most complicated that we've ever made them, and that makes them very hard to repair and almost impossible to recycle. Now this is my favorite bit, because theoretically, because Crocs are made of one single material, they would be very easy to recycle. Their shoes are made from their patented foam technology called Croslite, and in 2018 they actually released their new Light Ride foam technology, which is an even lighter version of the classic foam shoe. In theory, because of this simplicity, these things could be recycled with relative ease. Most people think that Crocs are made completely of plastic, but they actually aren't. They're made of a proprietary closed cell resin material that's neither plastic or rubber, whatever that means. But this sadly does complicate things, because we don't actually have the recycling technology or facilities in place to dispose or remake these kinds of shoes. Now, they have introduced a recycling program partnering with Soles for Souls for gently used clogs, but looking further into their recycling programs, it's just them cleaning the shoes and then giving them to people in need, which is awesome, but like, that isn't what recycling means. However, Crocs' single material design means that the company also has a really low carbon footprint in their production process. They have also started incorporating a bio-based Croslite foam technology using new equilibrium technology into their collections that will supposedly transform sustainably sourced waste byproducts into a shoe. I mean, that sounds crazy. I'm looking forward to it. They aren't revealing a ton of information about this right now, so I'm not gonna get my hopes up, but it would be great to see Crocs innovate in this way, because they've also committed to becoming net zero by 2030, and they're exploring sustainable alternatives for their packaging. Basically, Crocs may be a boom and bust for a fashion trend, but there is a lot more to these clogs than the memes might suggest. Now, I'm not saying that you should go rush out and buy a Croc or start collecting dozens of them, because that's insane. Crocs as a company releases an insane number of new products every year, including these limited edition drops that make consumers just want to keep buying these things when they don't actually need them. But what I love about this story is that accidentally, Crocs became one of the most durable shoe designs of the 21st century. I mean, was that ever a part of their goal? Probably not. Do we love Crocs now here at Future Proof? Yeah! Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you literally like it, subscribe to the channel, all that jazz, and we will see you in the next one.